What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another fantasy football video. 10-team PPR mock draft. That's what we're going to do today. And we're going to use SleeperBot, not in that tab, this tab. SleeperBot, and it's a little confusing how to get to the site. I don't think it's like that confusing, but for people who are just going in to that website, it might be a little bit confusing to use. But this is the one I recommend with Fantasy Football Calculator. But we're going to use SleeperBot today. Just Google SleeperBot, first one, and then you have to I'm not sure you have to create a login, but I have a login. Then you do draft board. Don't do create a league. Just go to draft boards, create my draft board, and then change all the settings here. So you can invite people with this link, but we're not going to invite anyone today. Sometimes when you're in the chat, I'll send out the link and we'll fill it up, but not for this one. And then you just fill out your settings. We're just going to do we're going to do a PPR, and then we're going to go over roster settings are normal. So quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, flex, defense, and then let's add another. Yeah, we'll add a 6 bench spot. I think that's what most leagues are. My hometown league has 5 bench spots, but we're going to go with those settings. Yes, draft order. We're going to pick. We don't have to randomize the teams, but if you had like 6 people you were with, you could randomize it there. Custom name for your draft, we don't need to do that. And we're just going to make it 10 team with like 2 minutes between each pick, but since it's computer, it's just going to simulate through that update, and we're good to go. So, what spot do we want? I've done the end, I'm not sure I've done 1. But 2, I don't think I've done 2 yet. And I want to kind of try something new with this. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I want to try out a different strategy because we've been doing kind of what I would always do, but I want to try something different this one. So we're going to do the number 2 pick, just see what happens. So we going to begin the draft. Todd Gurley goes 1. I don't think that's the pick. You guys have heard me talk about the people in the top 5, and I'm doing a video breaking down each position and then everyone in the first 2 rounds. But for me, the number 1 pick is Bell. Then it's between David Johnson and Gurley, and then Zeke. It's those 4 no matter what format you're in. But I feel pretty good about Bell here. I got a minute and a half to talk here. Gurley is likely to see regression, and that offense is likely to see regression, and we saw what he was capped at, which is like insane. But if we're going to simulate the season, 100 times, more often than not, Bell's gonna win in points, and he's just so unbelievably safe with the receptions. That's what we're going with there. Finishes first round: Zeke, DJ, Brown, Kamara. I don't need it to talk to me every time it goes through one. Barkley, Hopkins, Hunt, Odell. That sounds, yeah. I was just trying to look for anything that's like different. Fournette, Melvin, Cook, Julio, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Devonta Adams, and Freeman. Yeah, that's typically how they've been going. It's a computer, so there's not going to be a ton of reaches. What I like and don't like from that, while also kind of looking at what's ahead. Okay. Julio, I think we're moving back behind Michael Thomas and behind Keenan Allen, but ahead of Devonta Adams. So I thought that was a little bit early there. I really like Dalvin Cook. Melvin Gordon's fine. Fournette's fine. So these are all fine picks. I'd have taken Barkley ahead of Kamara. I'd take Hopkins ahead of Kamara. Odell ahead of Kamara, but that's probably the end there. Our pick seems relatively straightforward. All the running backs are gone at this point, which happens pretty much in every draft. So I really don't want to reach on McCoy at this spot, and maybe I'll try tight end. Maybe I'll try the tight end with this next pick and see how the team turns out. But we're obviously not touching quarterback or anything. So for me, the picks between AJ Green and Mike Evans, that's pretty obvious between those two. There's a drop off after that. I don't know what we have. Can I go quickly? I haven't actually we haven't done the wide receivers yet. But let's see what we have for our default. We have Evans. I'll take Evans here. I think they're really close. So I don't even know. Ooh. I said we would take a tight end, but I don't think you can pass that up. No. It is a 10-team league. So in 10-team leagues, I guess the tight end is slightly more important in the matchup, but then it's kind of offset by the fact that now there's less tight ends drafted, so you can have better ones. But in like an 8-team league, you should be picking your high-end quarterbacks and tight ends a little bit earlier because you need that. Everyone's team's dominant, so you need that extra edge. But I still gotta think that even in a 10-team league, starting off Evans and AJ Green with Bell is the best option here. Nope. If this was my team, I'd go AJ Green, but we're going to go with Gronk. And we're going to see how the team turns out. So AJ Green obviously went next. Still no anomalies here. Howard, I would probably take Mixon ahead of Howard in a PPR league. I find it interesting that Adam Thielen's going ahead of Diggs. I think we're going to make our rankings Diggs ahead of Thielen. That's just my initial take. I think Hill's going a little bit too early. I already told you guys Watson and Rodgers are going too early. Other than that, I mean, Derrick Henry, that's too early on Derrick Henry. Nothing crazy. Okay. Josh Gordon, really like Josh Gordon. So Josh Gordon is definitely the top wide receiver. We'd target Juju. Running backs. I mean, I really like Geis. I think Ajayi is a decent upside play, a little risky for a team that I went with a tight end. No one I'm thrilled about. No one I'm thrilled about. So I think we're going to take Josh Gordon. I think that's what we're going to do. I can't take Amari Cooper. I just can't draft him. He's just been bad, and Carr's been bad. All these guys are behind. I think we need to remember what Josh Gordon is and watch the Browns video that he did breaking down all the different Browns players. I mean, it was what? He had in 5 games, he had 16 targets of 20 or more yards downfield. And only 5 were on target. Like, if this guy gets a quarterback that's on target deep, which Ty God is, he throws very accurately deep. Could be good things happening for Josh Gordon this year. So, upside play there. We should probably target a running back at this next pick. We only have Bell, and we know Bell has gotten hurt. Penny, I think. So he has that first round draft capital that everyone's going after, but at the same time, he's not that good of a pass catcher, and they have other pass catching backs. So I'm not thrilled about Penny. I'm not thrilled about Collins anymore because I just think Dixon's gonna have a role. So is it Ajayi? I know Clement's there, but it's a good offense, so Ajayi can definitely do work. I really like Geis. He's not gonna be used as much in the passing game, but I really like him. Yeah, it's between Ajayi and Geis at this pick, and I guess I would just kind of play the 2 different draft pick and just hope that Geis makes it to my next pick. I don't think I need a wide receiver, and this is kind of the range where everyone's kind of the same. It would be Juju for me, but it's not that big of a difference. You could take Wilson if we wanted to test out. If we wanted to test out taking a quarterback early. I just don't think you need to. Like, you can take all these guys late. I don't think I'd do it with Wilson. I don't know how much I'm gaining. I really don't know how much I'm gaining with Ajayi. This is what we're going to do. Oh, God. All right, we're going to take Wilson. And that's what we're going to be testing out. How good does our team turn out when we throw away the quarterback late, tight end late, and we just take Gronk, we take Wilson, we take those points every week with Bell, Evans, and Gordon. Let's see how this kind of turns out. Did we get our guy? We didn't get Juju, Ajayi, or Penny. Awesome. Or guys. Cool. Michelle. Michelle's the pick here. Dion has that role that he changed teams. We don't know. We can speculate, but we don't know. Ingram's out for, essentially the first month. So that's going to be tough. Coleman, I think his role gets reduced this year. Cohen is just pass catching. Freeman's an interesting pick, but again, there's unknown there. We don't know. Jones, more unknown. So there's a lot of unknowns at this point, and Michelle's just, he's essentially a cheap version of Kamara. Is he Kamara? No, he's not. But he's on a similar situation where he's like a great pass catcher. His like actual abilities are comparable to Kamara, but then like great pass catcher on a team that utilizes the running back out of the backfield and is a prolific offense. It's like the same type of player. So that's definitely the pick at this spot. Rudolph is a pick I really like. Just look at the draft board quickly. This is kind of why I like him, because you're waiting almost 4 whole rounds to get after these elite guys, and for some reason he's going after this should be the first 4, but then Evan Ingram should be behind Rudolph. I don't think there's really a case for taking Ingram ahead of Rudolph. What do we have? So we filled out tight end and quarterback. We're just going all running back, wide receivers here. We've got Bell, Sonny Michel, kind of round, Evans, and Josh Gordon. So we need a wide receiver at this spot, because I'm not like convinced it's Josh Gordon. If I had not drafted Josh Gordon, the easiest pick in the world is Jarvis Landry right here. But I'm not drafting both of them because it's the Browns. I'm not taking the whole Browns offense. So we've got Marvin Jones, Funchess, Watkins. That's it for this pick. So it would be between Funchess and Marvin Jones for me. If I knew I'd get Funchess in the 8th round, I would take Marvin Jones here. But that's a lot of picks, and I don't think that happens, so I have to take the one that I like more, and that's Funchess. Ascending wide receiver, good talent on a team that doesn't have a ton of weapons. I know they drafted someone, but I'm not concerned about that. Funchess is just safe, and that's kind of what I wanted with this pick, was a safe guy. Because, we all know Josh Gordon comes with risk. And Mike Evans, I wouldn't say comes with risk, but I need more than that. Like, I can't just have, like with Bell, he can take over that running back 2 to where it's like, if you have Bell and then like a meh running back 2, Bell kind of keeps up for that. Evans isn't Antonio Brown or Hopkins or Odell. Like, I need another solid piece. So I think Funchess is a good solid piece there. Okay, I was seeing if we can pause the draft. I don't even know what I was doing there. Oh, it is paused. All right, we'll do that now. So, stat of the day. I should have done this when I took my tight end, but I forgot. Stat of the day. We got Sean Henry won round 1. We're going to be keeping track of this. So every day, we're going to give you guys a stat by Pro Football Focus, and whoever gets it first gets shout out in the next video. As I said, Sean Henry got the first one. We didn't actually do a thing when Juju was the answer, but it was Jordan Howard for Friday's video of the second lowest receiving grade for running back. Carlos Hyde was 1. Jordan Howard was the second worst. This is today's stat. Who had the best catch rate among tight ends to play at least 50% of their team snaps? So they didn't just go out there for one play, catch a ball, and not drop any. 0. The rate was 1.72%. Who had the best catch rate among tight ends to play at least 50% of the snaps? No looking it up. Whoever gets it first gets shout out in the next video and gets thrown on to the leaderboards, I guess. We're going to keep track of who gets the most by the end of the year. So there'll be plenty of opportunities, obviously, throughout the summer. So try your best. This is actually like a draftable player, too. This isn't like some guy who played the snaps but then only got a few targets. This is a player you would definitely draft. So 2 minutes. Our team. 3 wideouts now. Mike Evans, Gordon, Funchess. 2 running backs in Bell and Sonny Michel. Probably should get some depth behind that with Gronk and Russell Wilson. Team doesn't feel that bad. Yeah, Royce Freeman's the pick. I mean, I like Burkhead, but I'm not going to take both of them. I like Lynch. Lynch is fine with me, but might be able to get him in the next round. For me, it's Royce Freeman. I understand that he doesn't have the role yet. There's a chance that Devontae Booker is good, but Booker's had his chance. I think it's Freeman's job now. Who'd they take? They took Ronald Jones. So our options... This does let you pick a lot of the like mid to late guys, so I can take a lot of shots. I just prefer having more depth at that spot. If this was a 12-team league, my thoughts would be totally different. I don't think you can take Gronk and Wilson here, but maybe in a 10-team league it'll work out. Wide receivers, there's still a lot of decent wide receivers left. But what are we looking for here? We'll look for some upside. Evans, Gordon, Funchess, I feel kind of good with that. Fuller's got upside. I'm not really touching Pierre Garçon. Watkins has a ton of upside, ton of downside too, but I feel like that's the pick. With Mahomes chucking it deep and Watkins being pretty good deep threat. Yeah. I mean, I like Hogan. I like all these guys. It's just not all of them. Yeah. Watkins. Team upside, and you kind of do have to shoot for upside in a 10-team league. If you guys play in those, you need more upside. In a 12-team league, you can play a little bit safer, but the scores are so high each week in a 10-team league that it takes a lot to differentiate yourself because everyone's got a pretty decent team. That's why I tried to look at taking a tight end and a quarterback earlier just to see, because that is a differentiating factor. Running back. You guys know how I feel about Jamal Williams. I like Aaron Jones better, but I think Aaron Jones, yeah, he's now being drafted ahead of him. Like Chubb. I like Foreman once I know he's good to go. I haven't heard anything yet, good or bad. But once I know he's good to go from the Achilles, I'll like him more. But I'm not going to draft someone if he's on the pup to start the year. You can't draft him. I guess you could put him in IR, so you could draft him late. Clement. We're not buying into this Doug Martin hype. Don't be fooled, and we don't need to be looking that far. So it's Chubb. It's Chubb here. I mean, if we're looking for upside, I know I made the video. I said his upside's capped, which it is, but there is a world where Duke does get hurt and Chubb takes over that third down role. They didn't use him where he could have been used because they had the guy on my team, Sonny Michel. So he could be a decent pass catcher, but his college team didn't need to use him in that role because they had Michel. So if Michel had gotten hurt or if Michel wasn't on the team, could he have had a bigger target market share? He could have. So that's why I'm not totally discounting it. And we've seen players who didn't have a massive college target share have receptions in the NFL. It's just I'm not expecting at all that Duke Johnson isn't going to have the third down role, but Duke could get hurt. So that's why he has some upside more than Hyde does. We're 4-4 now, so we can take anyone in the flex. And so we're basically looking at this point, Cobb, Martavis Bryant, but we can wait. We can wait because there's some guys later that I really like as well. Let's take another shot at running back with it'd be Clement probably is my next ranked, but Jamal Williams won't be there. And as much as I like Aaron Jones more, there's a chance that Jamal Williams takes that job too. And if there's a chance that in the 11th round I get the running back for the Packers, I'm gonna do that. So that's why we're going with that pick. And I was pretty sure that Clement would still be there, which he is. So how many picks do we have? We have 3 picks left. I want to take... Tyler Lockett. I can probably get him in like the second to last round, and that'll be 5 wide receivers. We already have 5 running backs. So let's do this. Martavis Bryant here, or I think Corey Clement will be there for the next round. So we want Martavis, Corey, Lockett. That's how I want to finish this. But I'm not sure Martavis will be there. What's this guy got? This guy has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's got 4 and 4. Rats. Okay. Let's take the gamble. Nice. Clement. And we're gonna finish this draft off. There's no way this dude gets drafted. I don't really get why he's not being drafted, because people wanted to draft him last year a ton because he's good and he's a really good deep threat. And then Paul Richardson's a thing. And it's like, now he's gone. And now no one wants to draft Lockett. I don't get it. What? Doesn't make much sense. So here's our draft. I like this draft. Obviously, it's a 10-team league, so you're pretty much always going to like your team unless you're bad. But I like the idea of getting your quarterback and tight end early in a 10-team league. If Gronk has a year where, I don't remember the exact year numbers, but those years where he had like 1,112 touchdowns, or when he could get like 15 touchdowns. If he has that year, and Wilson with, you know, the no offensive line and the scrambling ability, because the upside, remember, always upside with the legs. That's what you're looking for in a monster year for a quarterback. If he has a quarterback 1 year, and that's a tight end 1 year, and we already know Lev Bell can be 1, this team has a lot of upside. So list out the roster. It's Wilson with Lev Bell, and then probably Sonny Michel would be the next guy, with Evans, Josh Gordon, and then Funchess would go in the flex, with a bench of Royce Freeman, Nick Chubb, Jamal Williams, Corey Clement, with Sammy Watkins, Martavis Bryant, Lockett. Those 3 picks are pure upside. There's a world where I have to drop all 3 of them, and I'm fine with that, because as I've said a million times, the success rate, I don't know if I have it on this computer. Let's see. Nope. Got it. Success rate. Cumulative success rate by round. We were looking at our rounds 9 on. There's your success rate, around 20 to 30%. So once you're, and yes, the 5th round every single year has that drop. Once you're in like the 7th round and on, don't let anyone tell you you can't reach. Don't feel bad about reaching. Pick the players you want, because literally look at the success rate. It's the same. You have just as good a shot in the 8th round as in the 11th round of hitting on a success, which is like a start worthy option. It's basically a flex player up. So that's where I want to take my shots. I'll make a video on what to do late in drafts and when to reach and stuff like that. But I mean, we're looking this point on, we're just looking for upside. I do not care if my guy has a floor of 0, which I mean technically like Watkins, Bryant, and Lockett all have, but they all have upside. So that's what I'm looking for late in the drafts. I think that's it. I went over the stat of the day, so make sure you put that in the comments section. I'll make the chart. Sean Henry, number 1 right now with 1 correct. Optimal draft spot. You guys have asked me about that, and maybe I'm gonna talk to some people in my class about maybe working on this as a group, figuring out what the optimal draft spot is through like machine learning simulations, but that's not a guarantee yet. And there's a lot of parameters around it, in that pretty much it's all based off of projections. So if your projection's off, the optimal spot's going to be off. And then there's a lot of coding that'll have to go into what gets picked, because obviously you would just pick a bunch of quarterbacks and stuff like that. But we're going to work on it, and I'll update you on if it's even possible to do. But that's it. That's the end of this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, how about hit that like button, subscribe if you are new. Thanks for watching.